Minister Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams is leading roadshows that she says are critical to ensuring that there is seamless engagement across all spheres of government. Ndabeni-Abrahams joins us now to map out what exactly it is that she is going to be doing to implement what the President, in his capacity as leader of the governing party, minister, said yesterday, and that was to eliminate red tape in order for small, medium enterprises to thrive. Practically, what is your department, including its agencies, what are you doing to achieve this?
Thank you so much, Cody. And a good reference to what the President spoke about yesterday, which is what he was emphasizing, as he has repeatedly said this several times. Now you will recall that our Department for Small Business Development is centered around the coordination and promotion of entrepreneurs in the work that is being done. Most of the challenges that the entrepreneurs have been talking about, that they can't access, whether it's funding or it's opportunities, are referred to, are reference to the red tapes that we have, whether it's government or as the private sector. Now as a department, as we are embarking on that process of easing the way of doing business, we said it makes sense that as we work towards the development of a master plan that's looking at the small businesses that we have and cooperatives, it makes sense that we engage with the entrepreneurs in their respective areas, but also because in the studies that have been conducted and in many engagements that we have had, there's a reference to the issue of the bylaws that are also a challenge to some of the businesses in operating. That is why we said a response strategy that will help us galvanize not only support but proper views, so that when we enhance this master plan, when we work towards the red tape reduction, we are addressing the challenges that are faced directly by the entrepreneurs, those that are in the formal sector and in the formal sector.
Yeah.
So we then call this workshop to say, let's have the roadshows. And in the roadshows is the entrepreneurs themselves, including those that want to do business in the informal side and the formal side. The municipalities are here to say, let's engage, and we will be working towards a coordinated economic development strategy, because this is what characterizes the challenges or opportunities that we're talking about. Hence, you heard us saying the theme is unlocking opportunities whilst resolving the challenges that are faced by small businesses.
Yeah.
And engagement with the entrepreneurs, with the municipality, with our agencies and other government agencies, the NYDA, and everybody that we have invited that has to do with the business of small business development is necessary in order for us to come up with an effective strategy that must enhance that we are doing.
Minister, I'm glad you mentioned the issue of bylaws, and this is something that has been complained about, and I remember at some point during the hard lockdown, as it was easing, the police officers confiscating the goods of those who are conducting business on the side of the road. So when you talk about bylaws or easing bylaws, what are we talking about here in order for these businesses, small businesses, to thrive?
What we're talking about, firstly, for example, the issue of the payment fees that get to be charged by municipalities. Others are ridiculous to an extent that they exclude some of the businesses to operate in certain areas. Others, you will look at the areas that can really be a market opportunity for the small businesses, and they are told that they can't trade on those areas. Others, they're specific in terms of saying these are the only services that are allowed. Whilst we respect that indeed bylaws must be in place by the municipalities, but all we are saying is that bylaws should not be used in order to exclude other people, as we have received reports from some of the municipalities. What we're doing only is to say we pass laws, and these laws are meant to enable the societies that we serve. They are not meant for us as government to say we want to just get this, but every policy and legislation that we make should create an enabling environment for those that you are serving in order for them to thrive. When we open up space, when we review some of the bylaws that are there, because you will understand that the bylaws are different based on whatever area that you're operating in.
Yeah.
Others have bylaws that are there, but they're not enforcing. One of the critical things that have been raised in the study that was conducted by the Competition Commission on why small businesses do not thrive, especially in the townships and rural areas, including in the CBDs. One is the high rent, the rates that are charged. The other one is the issue of the crime, which ranked number one. The high crime stats that are there. Now we find out that in areas there are bylaws that are talking to say, how do we cap crime in our area? What is it that ought to be done and not to be done?
Yeah.
But the enforcement is what is lacking. Whether you look at the issue of the businesses, as you look at the trade and industry rules, in terms of the regulations that they have, in terms of foreign-owned businesses, what kind of businesses are open to all, including what amounts, because this is regulated. Probably, if you recall, when we launched the Youth Challenge Fund, we specified that it's targeting mainly South Africans.
Yeah.
And people wanted to call us xenophobic. And we then had to articulate that the department responsible for those that are investing, not South Africans, it starts at 15 million rand and above. We are not saying we're excluding anyone in the economy, but we have a responsibility as mandated by the National Development Plan that we need to create 9 million jobs out of the 13 million jobs envisaged out of the 11 million jobs envisaged by the NDP. That the NDP addresses the employment of South Africans. Therefore, every opportunity that we get, whilst we are collaborating and coordinating with our country, with other countries and everybody else, but we are saying the sectors that should not be used to exclude the black people of South Africa, should not exclude the South Africans from participating.
All right. Minister, next time we speak, especially on the issue of the 9 million jobs that are envisaged, we're going to talk about the agencies that work with your department. What are they doing to help these small businesses? That's the Minister of Small Business Development, Stella Ndabeni-Abrahams.